tout le monde, c'est Alex et aujourd'hui on se retrouve pour la partie 8 de Autopsy Simulator. Dernière partie, on s'est arrêté ici, au commencement du chapitre 4. Si on se souvient bien, notre voiture, quand on est sorti, quelqu'un lui avait crevé les 4 pneus, du coup on a dû prendre un taxi. Et là du coup on est de retour, après on a toujours pas notre voiture, puisqu'on est revenu en taxi. Donc du coup let's go, on va voir ce qui se passe dans ce
Huh?
petit chapitre 4. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a encore? What? Il y a un tambour. Ok.
Hello?
Oh! Il y a un mec qui courait. Ok, pour une fois on voit une apparition, parce qu'en général je les loupe toutes. Mais là ça va, on a réussi à avoir le entre guillemets petit jump scare. Ce n'est pas vraiment.
Damn. It's already late in the evening. Good evening. Any news for me? About my car? You know, the flat tires?
No.
No, what? Have you checked the cameras? Anything?
Handman, I cut my teeth working in prison. I know what to do.
What?
There were no strangers hanging around. Maybe you ran over something.
What? All the tires?
Why, possibly. You can congratulate yourself.
Christ.
You should try sleeping more. You've been kind of out of it lately.
That's the first bit of sense you've made all evening.
Good. The body is expected to be ready for pickup tonight, along with your lecture.
What? What? No, what?
You still pontificating? Best hurry, don't you think?
Quand même.
Fuck me. I don't have the strength for this today. Have I taken my pills today?
C'est quand même chaud, hein. Il lui a pas dit qu'il y avait un espèce de tournevis à côté de ses pneus là.
One more won't hurt.
Let's go. Hop.
I need to focus.
Et après on est
Fuck. I don't have much time.
beaucoup de temps.
Okay, okay. One by one, Jack. Take it easy. Oh, a burning issue indeed. Then I'll move on to the body. Ah, shit. The lecture. I almost forgot. I'm gonna need the camcorder.
Mais il est de plus en plus stressé, notre perso. C'est affolant et horrible. Il est tellement stressé. En même temps, avec tout ce qui lui arrive, on peut le comprendre, hein, on va pas se mentir. Mais ouais, c'est chaud quand même. Il est en panique H24 le bouilleux. Ok, qu'est-ce que nous... Putain. Wesh, il est attaché le bordel. Il s'est fait cramer. Horrible. On peut déjà dire que c'est un meurtre. Et le mec il est attaché cramé. Il s'est pas attaché lui-même, hein, je pense pas.
Oh well. This is not the best framing. Hello, everyone. It's the 20 something of November 1991. Jack Hanlon is conducting the autopsy. Oh, I appear to be missing my gloves and apron.
Putain, le perso il va devenir fou. Vraiment. Je pense qu'à la fin du jeu,
Yes.
soit il sera enfin dans un asile, soit il va avoir un truc chelou,
You
mais...
already know the drill. So, the body is on the slab. Let's see what the police uncovered first. So, the victim is from yesterday's apartment block fire on Browner Street. Personal details unknown. The exact cause of the fire has not yet been determined. However, it is known that the fire started in the deceased's apartment, where the most damage was reported. The body was not found until the next morning. The tenant was naked, charred, and with severe burns. The owner of the apartment asked about the deceased. He was surprised anyone even lived there. The deceased was sitting in an armchair near the TV. Pieces of pornographic material, an ashtray, melted video cassettes, and several bottles of so-called poppers
Oula.
were found in the vicinity. It's difficult to assess whether any escape attempts were made. Firefighters indicated that it was probably the large quantity of poppers found near the deceased and rapid spread of the fire. Well, that's our basic question. Whether the death occurred as a result of fire, or whether he was dead before it.
Let's go.
As you can see, the body is in quite an unusual pose. For the purpose of photographic documentation, we'll leave it like that for now. This position is called the pugilistic attitude. This is due to the influence of high temperature on the muscles.
Ok. Maintenant, comme d'hab, on va trouver les... Quoi c'est?
The fire reaches the skin first, then the soft tissue, until the skeletal muscles are exposed. Coagulation occurs in exposed muscles due to their fibers shrinking.
C'est chaud. Putain. Elle est...
The extensors yield to the force of the flexors. The muscles contract and contract until the limbs become flexy and deformed. The upper ones are characterized by a triple bend, similar to a boxer holding his hands in front of him.
Par contre, ça explique toujours pas pourquoi il est attaché, le bonhomme. Hein.
Just 10 minutes will do it. 10 minutes. For the
Vraiment que c'est
muscles
les
and
policiers qui
tendons
l'ont
to
attaché.
contract, like
Voir
a
le
steak on the grill.
Ça m'étonnerait. Je sais pas en fait. Est-ce qu'il y a des trucs bizarres dans le dos? Oh là, il y a des blessures là quand même. Non. Je vois rien là qui. Il en reste encore une. Où est-ce que t'es? Ça doit être de l'autre côté, c'est pas possible. Bizarre ça. Pourquoi je ne trouve pas la dernière photo à prendre? C'est chelou ça. Ah,
In the end, we're all just walking meat.
ok. Let's go.
The deceased must now be straightened out, and we need to get rid of these bindings. He looks to have been tied up in a rather unusual way. The deceased's neck and feet were most likely secured to his hands, which
Oh,
explains
donc
why,
c'est quelqu'un qui lui a-
despite the severe burns, the deceased's limbs are not all that twisted.
Allez-y, le temps.
That's better. It's easier to straighten him now. Without taking out the magnifying glass,
Alors,
we
John
already
Doe,
know that the
37
deceased's
ans.
skin is heavily charred
Okay.
and cracked.
Examiner les zones avec la loupe comme d'hab.
As for the other details, there are crow's feet visible near the eyes. Upper lip reveals front teeth. One of the incisors is broken. There's soot in the nostrils.
Attends.
The rope around the neck wasn't very tight. I don't see it leaving a mark on the skin. You can clearly see that this is primarily the front of the deceased that was exposed to fire.
Putain, il a dû souffrir le mec, hein. Cramé vivant comme ça. Ah.
The victim sat in the chair the whole time, hence his back being in much better condition than this extremely burned area.
Ok.
The rope marks around the wrists are deep and clearly visible. Looks as if a large flap of skin had detached from the calf.
Ah, horrible. C'est horrible quand même.
The rope at the man's ankles was tied much tighter and more precisely than the one around his wrists. All in all, quite a lot can be deduced from this external examination.
Alors. Non, c'est pas ça que je voulais faire. Du coup.
The eye clenching is a natural reaction of the body to high temperatures.
Pas de doigt.
Traces fail to indicate that the deceased suffocated before the fire took hold. Oh, that must have been terrifying.
Tu m'étonnes qu'il a dû être terrible.
Severe burns, covering approximately 80% of the epidermis. He appears to be loosely tied. However, this is the result of the corpse drying out. The wound shows that the rope had deeply imprinted itself in the tissue. The length of the rope was calculated, and it appears that the deceased could make limited movements around the perineum. Predominance of 4th and 3rd degree burns. Neuf endroits. The burns reach through the dermis and hypodermis to reach the muscles. The body is covered in numerous areas.
9 endroits. J'ai pas le souvenir qu'il y avait 9 endroits.
The tissue of the mouth was heavily
Oui,
burned
ok.
as well. The teeth,
Ah,
however, makes me wonder. The conclusions are quite clear. It may seem incidental, but for us it's a sign that the deceased was most certainly conscious. It looks like the deceased was a fan of choking while masturbating. Deaths due to a predilection for asphyxophilia do occur, but not in this case. The extent of the thermal stresses on the body could have
Moi
caused
je
this
pense pas,
death.
clairement il est mort de brûlure.
Wounds on the wrists and ankles indicate that the deceased could have been struggling in panic. The mixture of fear, sexual arousal, and drugs could have caused a heart attack. Burns to the genitals and groin are an additional concussive factor. This is due to the high vascularity and innervation of this area. In this case, I don't assume that this was a delayed death. We need to check the damage inhaling all that smoke has done to the respiratory tract. Perhaps the deceased lost a tooth, attempting to bite through the rope. I will assess the extent of possible poisoning and burning in a moment. First, I'll try to establish the victim's identity.
Ok.
Due to the amount of charring, we are unable to collect the victim's fingerprints. Visual identification is also out of the question. You can probably guess what options we are left with.
Les dents.
You guessed it.
Ouais.
A dental impression.
Clairement,
This,
les dents.
I need impression trays and alkanate material. Please excuse me for a moment. What I need should be somewhere in the lab.
Let's go. Trouver des outils dans le labo pour prendre les empreintes dentaires.
Okay, it's going well. I should be able to get this done in time. Where are these trays? Towels, papers, jars? Nope, it's not anywhere on the counter. Maybe in this drawer. Oh, I'll warm this up in my hands.
Let's go. On les a trouvés. On va prendre les empreintes dentaires.
Okay, making an impression is quite simple. You put trays with alkanate into the mouth and press them together in one firm movement until you feel significant resistance. Once the devices have been placed... apologies. They cannot be adjusted. Okay, again, we will need a piece of paper, a brush, and ink. We will make a plaster model of the deceased's teeth from the obtained impression. We will then make an impression of the mold on a piece of paper, which will be scanned into the computer.
Alors,
You see, it seems so simple, and yet laborious. On the plus side, we don't have to worry about the gag reflex with the deceased, and no need to remind the subject to breathe either. At least he saved the high costs of orthodontic treatment.
allez, on refait le truc des dents là. On va essayer de trouver vraiment le nom de notre victime. Parce que là, il s'appelle Joe Doe.
Wow. Who would have expected a match so soon? Well, the deceased is
Richard
Jacobson, 47 years old. He had a criminal record and was recently in court for... Oh, wow. For not returning a videotape to the rental shop. Oh, Jesus. I better check if I've still got that copy of... where were we?
Ok.
Okay.
Il a quand même été
Details to the clipboard.
jugé parce qu'il a oublié de rendre une cassette au vidéoclub. Je pense que c'est le moindre de ces soucis.
Okay, and we can move on to dissecting the
Richard
body.
Jacob.
This time, I'll go straight for the loppers. I'll slice it piece by piece. Let me start here. I push hard several times. Until I cut a given section. You can see that using a scalpel would be pointless here.
Bah, tu m'étonnes, le machin est tellement cramé que... Hop là, le dernier, je pense. Ah, le reste encore.
Solid crunch.
Putain.
Almost there. Now we
Let's
peel
go.
back the skin. Now to remove the ribs.
Bon, on reprend la pince. On enlève les côtes.
And we can check out what's going on in here. And I see that a lot has happened. In fact, the entire abdominal cavity is flooded. Blood and other fluids have seeped from the blood vessels, flooding the abdomen and chest areas. We have to get rid of this.
Trouver la louche dans le
a
labo.
cup or a ladle.
Oh putain. C'est dégueulasse. Trouver la louche.
I think I saw one.
Allez, let's go.
somewhere
Alors, où est-ce
here.
qu'elle est cette petite louche? Elle est là-bas.
Aha. I don't have all night. I'm going to need a vacuum pump. Great. The running around for everything starts again. Why can't things be tidied away properly in this damn mortuary? I'm gonna get Ridley. I wonder where this pump is. Mr. Ridley? Mr. Ridley? I'll just go to the basement and check.
Super. Ah, let's go, on retourne au sous-sol. What? C'était Pete le rouge, il avait une veste rouge. Bien sûr, il est là, le mec.
Ah, jeez.
Et là, par contre, il a pas réagi. Il voit un mec.
Rusty, scrap.
Désolé si vous m'entendez spam la touche. J'ai pas le choix.
God! Where is this infernal machine?
Alors.
Wow, that's heavy. Can I fit through the door with this? I swear I'm going to have an accident here one day.
Allez, ça
Like
fait l'exercice.
Alice, when she twisted her ankle on those stairs. We were supposed to go to the mountains then. That was supposed to be our first trip since... I don't know how long. I had so much work on my mind. And Alice,
Handman.
because of me, as always, she had to...
Handman, are you talking to yourself or what?
Huh? What? No, I just...
There is a letter for you. I left it on your desk.
Letter? For me?
Yes, letter for you. Do I have to repeat myself again?
No. Thank you. Where were you? I was looking for you earlier.
Handman, I was retrieving your letter.
Jesus, Ridley.
Ah,
You
c'est
talk to
Pete le
me like a
rouge.
human being from time to time.
I'm just answering the question.
Right. Oh, by the way, the basement hatch is wide open. Maybe you could look into it?
Maybe.
A letter. Fuck! Who delivers letters at this time? It's probably been sat in his office for ages. Just didn't want to move his lazy ass. We have the equipment. Now I have to place it somewhere close to the table. Phew.
Let's go.
I can finally put this thing down. Alright, just... What? There's no tube? No one's used this for a long time. I apologize to you all once again.
Oh, la salle de pause, elle est où? Je crois que c'est là.
These lockers could contain everything we need. Or, screw it. There might be something in here. Yep. I'm sure I wrote the code down on a piece of paper.
Frérot, sur un morceau de papier, quoi. Est-ce que mon morceau de papier il est ici au moins, dans cette salle?
What?
Pourquoi il y a... Ah, mais lui, il perd...
Did I imagine something?
Et lui, il perd totalement la boule, hein, le queumé. Vraiment. Bon, il est où ce morceau de papier? Trouvez le code. Ah, mais il est où? Je pense pas qu'il est là. On va aller voir dans le bureau. C'est dans le bureau qu'il y a le fameux morceau de papier. Ah, 36-49. Alors, 36-49.
Me and my memory for numbers. What do we have here? Boxes of disinfectants, syringes, thread. Oh, some small trinkets. Maybe I should take it to the office. Antiseptics. Any other stuff? Oh, that's interesting. What about here? I wanted to forget. I regret so much. Every day. Every fucking day. I can't take it anymore. Oh, God. Please. Office of the Medical Examiner, Peatsville.
Oh, Jack. I was hoping to catch you at work.
Hi, Dorothy. How's it going?
Good, thanks. And what about you? You sound tired.
Tiring day at work. That's it.
You scared me last time we spoke.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to cause any trouble and say what I said.
Jack, it's all right. You're not causing any trouble. I'm not surprised at all that.
No, really. I mean it. Sorry. I just... I'm fed up with myself.
You should take care of yourself. Didn't you say you wanted to stay at home longer? To rest? You know I pick up the slack at work.
No, I didn't. I can't. I don't want to be there.
Well, why not consider taking a trip, Jack?
Dorothy, please. I really don't have the energy for this today.
I just wish.
Stop it. Why are you calling?
Reminder about annual drug testing. I figured you probably didn't remember.
Oh, yes. I've, had a lot going on. I, even forgot my own birthday.
Leave your samples at reception on your way home. Someone will pick them up from Ridley in the morning. Probably Steven or someone else at the station.
Sure. I'll try not to forget. Okay, well,
Jack? Try not to do anything stupid, okay? Alcohol, your medication. No, you shouldn't.
I have it all under control.
Ah ouais, ouais,
I should be getting back to work.
Tellement bien
The
la
results
situation.
should be in tomorrow. I'll call you when we know.
Right. Thanks.
Goodbye, Jack.
Bye. Annual drug testing. I'll take care of it before I go home. I feel terribly weak. There's been a bit too much going on lately.
Test de toxicologie, on se prend 20 pilules par jour, mais
I was supposed to collect the hose.
à part ça, tout va bien, hein, vraiment. Je pense qu'il sera négatif. Alors, du coup, le petit tuyau. Voilà.
Focus on your work, Jack.
Reste concentré sur le bout.
All right. Here I am. I hope that was the last long break in this session. So, let's connect the tube. We turn on the machine. With this amount of fluid, there's no point in holding back.
Et le sang dans les os, oui, c'est accumulé.
Still a few nooks and crannies left. External examinations did not reveal any tissue defects that would reach the internal organs. So, I expect the organs to be intact. In a way, it's quite extraordinary that even with the organs are all present and
On
correct.
fait du sang,
A
la
reddish-pink
qualité
tint
abdominale.
indicates high
qui succède.
carboxyhemoglobin levels, the level of which I will determine from a sample of blood.
Ok, bien, c'est ce que je vais faire.
I will be inserting needles into the heart and femoral artery.
Hop.
What interests me here is not the presence of this substance itself, but rather its percentage. But first, I'll need the values for the centrifuge.
Bah, je pense que cet épisode, ça fera nouveau en deuxième partie parce qu'on va bientôt atteindre les
I
30
feel
minutes.
like I've been here forever.
Oh, mais la fenêtre là est tout le temps ouverte.
Jack, Focus just a little bit longer. Corpses recovered from the site of fire may have very different and complex histories.
Et on s'arrêtera là pour l'épisode là, parce qu'on a 30 minutes tout pile, comme ça c'est parfait. Et on continuera la suite dans le deuxième épisode. Donc j'espère que cette petite vidéo vous aura plu. Je vous dis bonne journée, bonne soirée, tout ça. Je vous dis portez-vous bien et à la prochaine. Ciao ciao.